These guys are ridiculous. These guys are ridiculous.
Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording on Wednesday, May 29th. The Celtics are in the NBA Finals, and we have plenty of stuff to talk about. I'm back from Indiana. Sam, how are you doing?
Doing good. Celtics are in the finals. Very excited. They're exactly where we all thought they would be. And it's, regardless of the expectations, still a lovely experience. It's always fun when your team gets to the finals. Today, we have great stuff to talk about. Porzingis, maybe back. Stephen A. Smith went at Jaylen. Jack and the gang played basketball, and it went online, and people had things to say. And then we got some NBA stuff, Jimmy Butler rumors, Donovan Mitchell stuff, Lakers' next head coach, Western Conference Finals, and the rest.
Yeah.
Good show.
Plenty of stuff. A lot of stuff to talk about. We can start with Kristaps, like you mentioned. Some rumblings of his potential return. Haven't really heard much. Joe Mazzulla and the Celtics have been very tight-lipped on what is going on with Kristaps Porzingis. You've seen him on the bike. You've seen him on various exercise machines, getting in some work on the court, particularly in Cleveland. Didn't really see much of him in Indy. But Joe went on Zolak and Bertrand, said Porzingis is, quote, ramping up his on-court work, shoot-arounds, one-on-one stuff, doesn't know anything about a Game 1 return. Shocker. You could ask Joe Mazzulla if Kristaps Porzingis is alive, and he's like, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on.
I'm not a doctor, man.
That's the game, right? That's the game. Meanwhile, and I'll pull this up, Kristaps Porzingis on Twitter wrote a little message to Celtics fans about his potential return. We'll phrase he gave a little bit of his own update. He wrote it in Latvian, and it translates to roughly, this is Google Translate on Twitter, so take it for what it's worth. Thank you to everyone who supports and sympathizes throughout the season. I'll be back in line soon. See you in the finals, and then in the arena with your own. Basically saying, like, see you in the finals, then I'll see you, what I can only assume to be for the Olympics for Latvia. I don't think he'll play, but or I don't know if he's playing. Maybe he's playing. I don't know. But see you in the finals is the line everyone's saying. I'll be back in line soon. See you in the finals. Hopefully, and Celtics fans are hoping that means see you on the court in the finals and not just on the sidelines. But I guess we just have to wait and see now.
I don't think he's going to put that out if he doesn't think he's playing. Because nobody said, hey, Kristaps, you have to send a tweet today.
No.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like he has, like, okay, if you want to go into the Joe stuff, right? Joe has to go on Zolak and Bertrand every single week as part of the 98.5, the Sports Hub partnership with the Celtics, I believe. Maybe he doesn't have to do it, but he does it. It's a weekly segment. They have Joe on. Joe has to be asked by Scott Zolak whether or not they think Porzingis is going to play. So he has to give an answer, somewhat of an answer. Maybe not an answer, but he has to say something. Kristaps Porzingis has no obligation to go online and say thank you to everyone who supports and sympathizes with me. I'll be back in line soon. See you in the finals. He just doesn't. I don't think the way the Celtics have handled this, Jack, it doesn't make sense for him to say anything if he didn't feel like he was going to be back. Joe Mazzulla hasn't said anything. The only update we've gotten was from Peyton Pritchard that was like, yeah, we think Kristaps looks good. And he probably went back and got the belt from PR that was like, nobody said you could say that. Nobody wanted this, blah, 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 blah. I don't think that this is nothing.
I hope he plays. Obviously, I think it would make life a lot easier on the Celtics. Also, I just turned my AC on. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Apologies if you can. You also have music playing, so I don't take what's I take what you're saying with a grain of salt.
My music is faint though. It's not very loud. But it's just so I make sure I know I'm connected.
I know, but I've heard you say no, and then I'll listen back and I can hear it, which is the only reason I say.
Okay.
But I'm sweating, so apologies. That said, Kristaps, it's weird because they haven't said anything, and before all of this stuff today, I was convinced that he wasn't going to play in the finals. I had convinced myself, okay, I just the way they're handling this, I don't think he's going to play. And this is nothing I've heard or seen. It's just the way that it's been treated feels like, all right, they made this whole thing. Even Woj tweeted oh, he could be back as soon as game 3. And then there wasn't even close to coming back in the conference finals. That was all.
Woj also said something about this. Not today, but I think he said they're aiming for game 1.
Woj said they're aiming for the conference finals too. Like I just can't take any of it anymore. I don't know if he had a setback. I don't know if they never told us what grade of calf strain it was. So we just don't know anything. Kristaps tweeting like, "See you in the finals" gives me some more hope than I had before of him playing, and I think that update might be the most solid thing we've gotten, even though it's kind of nothing. But I don't know, man. I hope he plays, but I don't think they're going to bring him back if he's not 100%. That said, they played pretty damn well without him, so I feel okay regardless. It's just like it would really, really suck if they went through the entire playoff run, win or lose, without Kristaps. Like that would just, it would be kind of shitty.
So this is a post from Cam, May 27th. Cam writes, Cam Tibet-Bay. Woj says Boston is choosing to take a conservative approach with Porzingis and that they expect to ramp him up in time for game 1 of the finals. So if you want to take into account the past reports, right, that, he's not going to be ready until game 3. That's what we heard before the Pacers series. I feel like there was definitely some kind of flow chart that the Celtics had that was like, did we win game 1? Yes. Did we win game 2? Yes. Okay, Porzingis isn't going to play until at least game 4. Did we win game 3? Yes. Okay, Porzingis is just not going to play. I think they just opted to give him as much rest as possible. They didn't want to rush him back, but they kept it on the board that there was a possibility that he would need to play in the conference finals if things got a little hairy. Whether or not I thought that was a good idea is a completely different story. But just kind of like stepping back and being like, okay, well, he said this, and now he's saying that they're expecting to ramp him up for game 1. It sounds like they expect he's going to be back. So with all of that being said, it's tough to imagine that with this extra, as you're listening to this week before game 1 of the finals, that he will not have enough time to get himself ready. It sounds like he was kind of ready, but they didn't want to push it. And they will have a sufficient amount of time for him to get it back in the lineup. But at the same time, Jack, we did talk and see as you guys talked about it. And one of the things Joe said to Zolak and Bertrand today was he was doing one-on-one work. He was not doing 5-on-5 work yet. So that is a major step in the recovery process. So we'll have to just wait and see.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope he plays. I really, really hope that he ends up getting on the court in finals. The worst case scenario is obviously he comes back and then he gets hurt again. I don't know. I was just so skeptical before all these updates today, just because it felt like everything was saying like, oh yeah, he could be back in the conference finals. Like that's the goal. At first it was game 1 of the conference finals should be, or at first it was like maybe he comes back in this Cavs series. That was never going to happen. And then it was maybe he's back for game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. That didn't happen. And then Woj is like it's like game 3, game 4, like that, or game 3, that's going to be it. And then it was no, not game 3, but after that, yes. And then he wasn't even like questionable, like Bobby Kravitsky said on Talking Seas today. Like he was just out, and it wasn't even like he was out the day of. It was like the day before. He was like, yeah, no, he's not playing. Like it was not even close. So that's sort of the reason why I've been a bit skeptical of his return. Maybe it is just as simple as they didn't want to risk anything in the conference finals because they knew they were good, and once they won up 3-0, they're like, all right, you know what, let's get him. His warm-ups can be workouts and practices before the finals, and then we'll slowly weave him in. I've seen a lot of stuff of like, don't ruin the chemistry, bring him off the bench at first. I don't like that. I think you start him. I think you play him in the same role he's played all year. I think the worst thing you can do is bring him back from injury where he needs to have as much of his surroundings the same to get back into things as possible. And then you put him in a role he hasn't played all season. I don't think that's the case. I don't think they should do that, but are you in on the bring him off the bench train?
I don't know if I care for that. I think the whole point of having him is not the whole point, but one of the major perks of having him is that he doesn't have Al Horford out there for 40 minutes a game. You can play Al Horford 28 minutes a game or 25 minutes a game, whatever it is that you need Al Horford to play, because Porzingis is somebody who you can absolutely trust to eat those minutes. And that's going to be so important. I mean, Horford, I forget who said this today. This isn't some pod. Might have been Bill Simmons, where the NBA Finals, it was Bill Simmons' dad who said this to Bill Simmons. The NBA Finals are perfectly set up for Al Horford. They're 3 days, there are a billion games before game 1, 3 days after game 1, 3 days after game 2, normal break between 3 and 4, and then 3 days, the whole rest of the way. So these games are spaced out in a way where even if Porzingis didn't come back, I'm not saying the Celtics would be dominant, but they would have it set up for them where Al Horford should be able to play as many minutes as they need him to. He'll have ample rest in between these games. I don't really think you need to bring Porzingis off the bench, though. Worst comes to worst, you can just not like finish games with him. You can read the room. You can pick out your spots and be like, okay, we think he's good today. Oh, we don't think he's very good this day. Okay.
Yeah. I hope they ease him back into things over the next 10 X days till the finals and then have him ready for whichever game. I think the Celtics are a good enough team where they don't need to rush him back, but obviously like there's no waiting anymore. You're in the finals. Like this is it. This is where you need him. So
save him for summer league. Got to dominate
yeah.
Vegas.
Save him for the Olympics. No, fuck that.
Yeah.
Next thing, Stephen A. Smith apparently had some things to say about Jaylen Brown. A lot of stuff about Jaylen Brown in the Celtics lately, because why would you be talking about anything else? It's not like they're in the finals or anything, right? There's not much to talk about. Stephen A. Smith went on a rant saying that Jaylen Brown isn't well liked. Did it during the conference finals. He said he's not marketable, all this stuff. Jaylen Brown called him out about sources and stuff. All the stuff since the conference finals have ended on Felger and Mavs and everything around is Jason Tatum was unhappy that Jaylen Brown won finals MVP, even though in the pictures, in the videos, he was smiling. I fucking hate this shit. This is my least favorite thing about sports media. No one is ever like just happy. Like there's no happiness. It is all negativity, and it sucks that negativity sells because it does, right?
Well, they were happy
when
they thought the Knicks were going to make the conference finals. They were very happy.
Exactly.
Stephen A. and the gang had a party on the pregame show.
But it's not even like teams to markets. Like there's this article that came out the other day. I don't know if you saw it. I don't want to say it here.
Big
like,
purr.
what are we doing?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
I almost put it on the sheet, but I was like,
horrible.
It's like that is such a random hate article to put together. I didn't read it, but the headline was super duper mean.
No. Sam, you didn't read it?
No.
Like you're laughing. Like this is the type of article that like even you would stop laughing and like be like, what the hell? Like you of all people.
I don't doubt that. And that's why like I didn't put it on the sheet. But the headline's kind of funny, and you can take an article like that and be funny about it. But from what I understand, they didn't do that. They were just plain mean.
I'm gonna read one paragraph, and you're gonna understand.
Okay.
Let's see. I want to find it. Yeah.
I mean, I'll keep talking. Oh, go ahead.
No, I got it. My Wolves friends went on to point out that there have been several motivating factors in Cat's career that should engender some sympathy and goodwill for him, some understanding of his fundamental catness. The tragic loss of family members to COVID, losing Flip Saunders, a mentor and father figure who drafted him, having Butler and the crew rip out his and Wiggins' hearts and displaying it for the world to see. All of this is compelling, but I have another overriding factor that speaks to his inherent nature. He's corny. So that is disgusting.
That's why I'm laughing. Like, I don't think it's like. I think the commitment to be mean to him is so unbelievable that it's like.
I'm sorry your parents died, but you're corny, so I don't care. Like you should be able to write you should never be able to write a fucking article again. I'm sorry.
That's crazy.
Horrible.
I'm all for making fun of people. Like seriously, I'm all for it. If it's in jest, it's okay for the most part. Like don't be mean. But if you want to bust somebody's balls, if you did a Cat article and you just broke his balls the whole time, I don't think anybody would care. They'd be like, haha, this is funny. I mean, I wrote a Celtics blog article that I was like, this is why you should hate every single team. It happens. It's part of the job. But, to your point, being overly negative and actually trying to like be mean is a completely different story. There's no humor in that. It's just kind of mean.
I'm not saying that's what Stephen A. and all these people are doing. Like, obviously, it's different things, but the obsession with negativity is baffling to me. Like, and I get it. Like, that's what people click on. That's what people want to see. But it's never made any sense to me. Like, why is that what people want to see? Like, why do people genuinely enjoy being miserable? And that is never going to connect with me. It is absurd. I know. I don't get it. It makes me like angry because that is what media turns into. And it's just like, this Celtics team has been historically amazing this year. The team has completely bought in. Jason Tatum is finally, putting aside the scoring thing that people criticize him for, blah, blah, blah. And he's just being a team player. He's just being himself because he's a mild-mannered guy. Jaylen Brown is leading in the way that works for him, but we're just going to pick it apart because we don't like it. Like we want to be miserable.
Yeah.
We want to find things to get mad about. And
The
I think it's so fucking lame.
The thing about the national media, so the cat thing is different. Separate it. That was just like a hit piece, meanie article. Stephen A and the gang are just essentially just doing their jobs. I mean, you can get mad at them. Shout out to Pull Up Shoot Nate on Twitter today. Had to retweet him. He was like, "You people got nothing going on. Like you just sitting here getting mad at national media. Don't give it extra attention. Don't quote tweet it. Don't share the video of whatever it is that they said that you don't like, because those views all count the same. If you really hate all of the discourse from the national media, you should ignore it. You should ignore it, because that's exactly what they don't want you to do. If Jack and I were doing videos every single day and nobody watched them, we would have to change the way we were doing videos, or we would quit. Probably not, because we did videos for a long time with nobody watching them. But we would have to change what we're doing, because that is what is selling. But because everybody wants to go on Twitter and cry and be like, oh my God, they're so mean to the Celtics. Watch this video that I'm complaining about. You're giving them free eyes on their product. Don't do that. Don't do that. All right, so back to the actual talking point. Stephen A. He did say he thinks Jaylen Brown is not well liked. He put this out during the conference finals, which I know you mentioned all of this. Is this a targeted attempt to try and throw a wrench in things for the Celtics? To try and make everybody a little uncomfortable? Felt really like strangely timed. And I don't think it's true for what it's worth. And I don't think you do either, because you're always there. And you probably would have been like not as defensive if you thought it was true. But just kind of a bizarre thing to put out there. Jaylen seems to be somebody that I don't really think I've heard anything bad about Jaylen.
Dude.
I've seen Reddit posts that like talk about meeting people. And I've seen people say weird things about Tatum, but Jaylen, all I've seen is like, great guy, shook my hand, took a picture with me, was very nice. I've heard stories about Jaylen from other sources, like seems like a very good guy. Don't see the connect here.
Prize Picks is America's #1 fantasy sports app with more than 3 million members. It is the easiest and most exciting way to get in on the action while you watch your favorite sports and players. You just pick more or less on 2 or more player stats and watch all the winnings roll in. You can now win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. You can turn $10 into 1,000 with basketball, hockey, college basketball entries today on Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. One of our favorite picks here at the How About Them Celtics podcast is the Drew Holiday blocks. It's usually 0.5. He just needs more than 0.5 blocks. That means 1 Drew Holiday block. And that pick is in the bag. Prize Picks is really simple to play. I can make my picks and submit my entry in less than 60 seconds. Download the app today and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Again, download the app today and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Everyone, like the national media's goal is to something that they think will get the general public's attention is what they go with for their angle. And I know, who was it? Philip, who said just don't talk about the national media because don't give them the attention. Sorry, we're doing it.
It was me.
No, I know, but in an email, we got an email about that recently too.
Philip had a big hit piece on the national media show. Philip,
it's this deeply engraved desire to pick on anything, even if it's like the Celtics win, but they don't win in the way that people want them to win. Not good enough. Jaylen Brown, is himself, but it's not what people think a star should be. That's not good enough. Jason Tatum doesn't lead by punching guys and throwing them off the team bus. That's not good enough. You got to be mean. You got to lead in the way. And it's because of everything. Like, people love to compare to the past. Like, Michael Jordan led in his way, and by all accounts, Michael Jordan was a fucking asshole. Like, just from everything you read, everything you see, he was a competitive, sure, but like, why? It's that right there. This isn't like attacking you, but that's the perfect example. I'm saying like he was an asshole, but it's like, yeah, but it's just because he's competitive. Why is that an excuse to be a dick? That's where the disconnect is. And I get that works for some people, right? Jordan, Kobe.
That's what I would have said.
There are people. Yeah. There's absolutely people that works for. But because it worked for them, why is that then the only way that players are allowed to have success? Why is Anthony Edwards glorified for being this like young kid who like leads in his super loud way, and Tatum is admonished for his success because he's a quiet guy. Like that is where the disconnect is. Why can't we just accept that people are different? Because like I'm different from you, right? We talk
That's
in
why the
different
show
ways. We
works.
cover things in different ways. You know, Jaylen Brown's different from Jason Tatum. Jaylen Brown leads vocally. Jason Tatum leads by example and behind the scenes. Like, why is there this obsession to pigeonhole players and people into certain characteristics? Because that's what we've seen before. LeBron James is loud, but he led in a different way than Jordan and Kobe did. He wasn't out there like being a complete asshole. He wasn't out there doing all this stuff, whatever. Like
He
Kawhi,
just goes on Twitter and
Kawhi.
subtweets everybody. He's just
Look
like,
at Kawhi.
maybe it's me.
This isn't a LeBron hate thing. Let me make my point. Kawhi, look at him. He's quiet. He won 2 titles. Like, I can't imagine Kawhi's out there like beating everybody's ass every day. Like Tim Duncan. You think Tim Duncan was out there, kicking people, hitting people, being an asshole? No, he's quiet. He's Tim Duncan. He'll lead in his way.
Tim Duncan
So,
is
like,
definitely an asshole, by the way. Not in a terrible
so?
way. He not in a bad way. He's like a break your balls asshole.
Sure, but like that's like joking. Like there is no
Yes.
like Michael. There are stories of Michael Jordan like punching guys in practice. Like
Yeah,
that
no.
is different,
Draymond.
right? Like
Go.
Draymond. Look at Steph.
Draymond.
You think Steph's out here like punching guys, leading like? Why is it acceptable for Steph and Tim Duncan to lead in the way they did, but Tatum gets admonished for it? Right? It's only because he hasn't won yet. That is the only reason he gets talked about that like that. As soon as Jason Tatum wins a championship, that will go away. And I think that's super fucking lame. And I really hate it. And this Jaylen Brown thing of him, he's not marketable. He's not this. He doesn't give a fuck. Why does he care? He's just living his life. He wants to win a title. He wants to do whatever he can. He'll find marketability through winning. He'll find marketability through making impact within his community, which he's done a phenomenal job at. Like, I hate the way that players and teams are covered by the national media. It's super, super corny.
You know what's funny is as we're having this Jaylen conversation, Noah put up a video of Jaylen discussing how media trading is given to athletes. So this is what Jaylen said. Jaylen said athletes are taught to act and engage in a certain way through media training, and there's a societal pushback or risk of loss of endorsement if not. So basically what he says is they have to act like cardboard, or there's a risk that people won't like their personality, and then they will not get endorsements, not get whatever, won't get the love. Now, not everyone has to follow this, and I think people like Anthony Edwards, I don't know. I don't know if he's an asshole, but I just think he has a fiery personality. I think it's different. I think people like that he shows some charisma in his post games, that he doesn't really seem to care what he's saying. He doesn't want to just be cardboard. He wants to be fun. There are other aspects of Anthony Edwards that have been out there in the past that people don't love. That's not the greatest thing of all time.
Well, and that's why he might not get the same endorsements Tatum does. Like all the shit that Anthony Edwards has done off the court. Like obviously,
he's in all kinds of commercials right now.
I know he'll get endorsements, but if you are a brand and you look at Jason Tatum versus Anthony Edwards purely from a how safe is it to invest in this guy? It is infinitely safer to invest in Jason Tatum than it is to invest in Anthony Edwards because of all the mistakes Anthony Edwards has made already off the court. Like the video of him using, what's the way to phrase this? Slurs that targeted specific group of people. Yeah, homophobic slurs. The video of the text that came out of him with that girl, like all of this shit that people have just decided to sweep under the rug. That's horrible. I get you're laughing. That's like gross. Like, come on.
I'm laughing the same reason I laughed at the cat article.
It's bad.
Make nothing of it.
It's bad, and people are gonna forget about it because look, it's super cool. Look at he's super competitive. Like this guy's awesome, right? Which is lame, whatever. But like Tatum has just been mild mannered, and he's in all the endorsements. He's one of the most marketable, popular superstars in the NBA, and it's still not good enough because he's not leading in the same way that people want him to, and it's super cringe. And I don't like it, but yeah, I don't know if there's much else to go on about that. But
we never actually said whether or not we think the Stephen A thing is true.
It's not true. It's bullshit. There's no fucking way. Stephen A has been wrong about every single fucking thing he's ever said in his life. There's no way. And I like Stephen A. This isn't like a knock on Stephen A, right? I like him, but like sources don't really apply to him.
Stephen A just is not trying to do journalism anymore, and that's okay. He's an entertainer. Completely fine. But people looking at him like he's an inside reporter just shouldn't look at him that way. He's not Windhorst. He's not Chris Haynes even. He's not Woj. He's not Shams. Like, he's just different. And that's fine. He's an awesome personality. He's professional wrestling. That's all he is. He's out there to get you engaged, to get you fired up. And he does a tremendous job at his job. But I don't really like that he's spreading negative stuff about Jaylen because Jaylen just seems to be a good guy. Doesn't deserve it.
Yeah, I don't like it. Anyways, should we do the next thing?
Pull it up. All right, so I'll intro this because you're not a non-biased party. So CLNS, if you didn't know, Jack and the gang all went to Indianapolis. They drove there. And CLNS did everybody a favor, and they had Amit, the photographer, film the pickup run. They all played ball. Jack played, Noah played, Bobby played, the other Bobby played, Justin played, Jay King played, Corrales played, and there were some others too. Forgive me if I just didn't see them in the video. But anyways, Amit cut up a 4-minute highlight tape of the run, and there were certainly some winners and losers from the video. There were some people that looked tremendous on camera, some people that did not look tremendous on camera. And shout out to CLNS for posting it. Shout out to everybody that actually cared enough to watch that and went to the comments to share what they thought and give feedback. Because I just loved people being like, Corrales, was he really an ex-pro? Doesn't look like it. But Jack, you were featured in the video. You were featured not only in the video, you were featured in the preview of the video that went out on social media, the quick 20-minute clip.
I was the preview.
20-second clip. And
Bullshit.
Amit put the Grand Theft Auto wasted screen over you. Unkind. Fuck. Now I'll let you go into Amit, and then we can go through that. We can pull up the video and we can do the biggest winners and the biggest losers from the video.
Amit decided to only post my lowlights. I played really well that day. I played pretty well throughout the games. I didn't end up winning a ton of them. I only won one because Jay King just won every game, and I wasn't on his team. Like Jay King is far better than I was. He was the best player there. But I think I played really well. Amit caught some of the lowlights, and that's all that won the video. I got a couple buckets in the bigger video. You can see a few of them, but he got my ass. It was unfortunate. I played better in the games that Amit also played in, so those also weren't on camera because he was obviously playing. But fucking Amit, dude, God, couldn't come on, man, give me a break.
Well, not for nothing is like nobody else able to hold the camera.
When Amit was playing, there were 6 of us left there, and so we just played 3v3. So no one was.
Oh, okay.
No one was there.
I thought like he played for a little bit, then stepped out to record, and I was like, well, why didn't somebody else just hold the camera?
No.
Makes sense.
All right, here's the 3-minute video. This
excellent intro, by the way.
This first intro of Justin might be the funniest part of the whole video.
Get this for the vlog.
Amit added the all time. All right, we can watch the full 3 minutes 30 seconds. Think of our thoughts, or we can pause in between. But let's take a look.
Get this for the vlog.
Terp, good form for what it's worth.
Terp is a really good shooter. He had a bad day, but he genuinely is a really good shooter. Like that is his thing. He's Sammy Hauser. Well, he literally in the conference finals can't do anything.
Okay.
Jay King, the menace, talking mad shit to Corrales. Does that count? She call bank?
Noah made like 3 shots the whole fucking day. That's why I'm mad.
Oh,
like 3 shots. She'll tell you too, because she can shoot, but she did not have a good shooting day. That's why I'm mad, because I was on her team at the end too, and she was making some later in the day, but she was not shooting the ball the whole fucking day. And as you can see by her bank shot 3. God damn it.
Bobby Manning making the cut. I like that they put in just a clip of Bobby Manning cutting through the paint.
I was gonna say that was the clip of Bobby. This is the first clip of Bobby. It's just cutting across the I wish Amit included the full clip here, because I actually drove really well here and then finished over Bobby, but he just got the finish. But this was a good move, and he just included the layup.
Oh, Jack.
Little finger roll. Then you took the ball back. A little delay a game on you.
I passed it back in.
Bobby Manning with the hug.
couple buckets for Jack.
Also, all of the comments are just Jack get a rebound. I'm not getting the rebound because I'm boxing my guy out, and then somebody else gets the rebound. It is not my fault.
Also, it's a little dirty how they made sure they showed Krause tired.
That is tough. Let me take him off the screen. But yeah, I'm trying to box out. I should have done better. I'm not saying I was perfect. I should have been better on the boards, but I need to defend my honor here. This is my own show. Like, look at right here. I actually got boxed out really well there by Christian.
Yes, sir.
But,
Yeah, a little.
On the board. Bobby versus Bobby. The battle of the Bobbies.
King made everything.
Oh my.
King didn't miss.
Looks like it.
Working them. Noah got our own rebound.
J. King.
That was to win the game. That was the game winner.
I just love how menacing J. King is. Like, look at him. Look at him. He's like probably head and shoulders above everybody he's playing against, and he is so happy that he's dominating. Like, J. King could play a game against like fifth graders and dominate, and he would be the happiest man ever. Hey gang, let me tell you a little something about Game Time. The NBA playoffs have arrived. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Who doesn't want to get in on the fun? With Game Time, you can experience it with your own eyes. Get yourself great seats to games with even greater prices. That's right. You can save when getting your tickets with Game Time. It's an authorized ticket marketplace of the NBA, which makes getting those playoff tickets even faster and easier. Plus, the prices on Game Time usually go down the closer it gets to tip-off. Who doesn't love to save a little bit of money? I certainly do. I used Game Time back in March when I took the lady to a game. We went to see the Celtics play our Pistons, and it was great. I could look and see what the seat view would be just using the app. Didn't have to be surprised when I showed up. Plus, you do get those last-minute deals. They have the flash deals and zone deals. Zone deals, which you can choose a section of the arena and let Game Time choose those seats. You'll save a little bit of money that way. You can download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Again, that's code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CLNS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Which there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I just love that that is one of his personality traits.
Motherfucker, dude.
Look at him.
I will say, Noah's this one didn't fall. Noah's very good at finishing over guys much taller than her. Like she'll get inside and she finishes.
She just
really
tried
well.
to kill Justin.
I know. She throws the elbows. Everyone.
Oh, that was a
You see, I got that rebound though. You fuck.
physical drive. That was looking like Jaylen Brown. Oh, that was a physical drive. That was looking like Jaylen Brown.
Ahmed's
driving.
commentary is my favorite. This got cut off too. So at this
All
point,
right.
the teams were me, Corrales, Bobby Kravitsky, and Turpin versus Noah, Jay, Bobby Manning, and then Christian, who's Celtics PR. But we play. This is like me and Jay and John, two-man game. I set a screen, I get him on a smaller guy, and
That was
he
a
works.
physical
I wish
drive.
that this
looking
whole thing
Jaylen
was in.
Brown
hunting.
driving it.
Yeah. See, you see the driving kick? Come on. I get Jay off him. I get there. Give me a break. This is sick.
Turn
Look at him.
on the cut.
Look at him.
Oh,
Yeah.
Justin is top one funniest person I've ever met in my life. Genuinely.
Well, that's a
He is the funniest. I'm sorry. That's offensive. I'm sorry. You can hear me yell, yeah, Turp.
Oh.
No, I love Justin.
Oh.
Justin is a ball of energy. He's
I love him.
fantastic.
Oh, Jack, she just beat you for that board.
Oh no, Jack! Oh no, Jack!
How you-
Can that be on the thumbnail?
Fuck you. No. We'll see what the thumbnail is. My guy is behind me here.
Oh, Jack.
See, I'm trying to box out.
I like that you're like breaking this down as if it's Celtics film, and I'm like
I'm
saying
mad.
Tatum took bad shots,
I'm
and you're
angry.
trying. You're defending your honor.
I got slandered on the internet. I need to defend myself.
For what it's worth, I would have been so mad if
boy.
I played and like made a bunch of jump shots and it was just like a bunch of clips of me like not playing well. J King.
I was in his face. This was like an insane shot. Watch
He
how
did one of
defeated I look
those
after this.
hezzy moves like before he actually went up with the shot and it was just
I
enough
know,
to make you
it
go
got
by.
me.
Oh my god, bro!
That's a tough bucket.
He's
Off the
playing
wrong
like
foot and
Nemhard
everything.
right now.
He's playing like Nemhard.
They're giving Christian the Ben
Oh,
Simmons treatment. That's fucked.
Sauce.
Only because making. Sorry. Look at this Bobby Manning highlight. Watch this.
Sauce.
Yeah, just getting them in there. I love, so I said this to you and Bobby. I don't know if it was on the stream or not, but Noah and Bobby Manning are CONS's like top stars playing in this game, so Amit definitely had to feature them quite a bit. And Noah, obviously, in this clip is getting buckets, like she's going to the basket, she's shooting threes, like she has ample highlights. What does this say about Bobby's performance? That the clips they put of Bobby in this are just
Bobby
him
actually
cutting?
Bobby played pretty better in Indy than he did in Cleveland. He got a lot
I know,
of rebounds.
but they didn't even put clips of him doing anything.
His rebounds. That's what he did. The rebounds was his thing. He got him. That was me and Kraus not communicating on the pick and roll. Bad.
That was just unnecessary. That was mean.
He's just bullying Justin.
They did not have to have that in the clip. If I was Justin, I would have went on Twitter today.
For what it's worth,
and
Amit and
what?
Justin went out to a bar like later this night, so they were like they're cool, but like this is he ruined my assist.
That's assault, man.
Look at this lockdown stand. Another board.
That was my worst. That was my low of the day. This right here.
Okay.
Because I should have had this, but my guy just right behind me. Watch that.
Another board.
I just didn't even see him. That was my worst play of the day. Like that, genuinely, that was the worst thing I did all day, and I got really mad. Look at my face. You can see how angry I am.
The frustration.
That's fucking
That's so fire, man.
board, man.
Bored, man.
Another board.
They're just. This is a hit piece.
Oh.
I should have stepped up sooner there too, but I thought Christian. I was afraid of getting back cut again.
No help defense from you on that, Jack.
I know. Well, I was afraid of getting back cut again.
Now, Jack, I've seen you defend 6'8" guys in men's league. You could have sent Noah pack.
Defense.
I know.
Little Kareem hook.
I mean, I suggested.
How much of this? How much did this play mean to you?
Huh?
How much did this play mean to you? Seeing it in the mixtape. I know, like, when this happened in real life, it was definitely a big moment for you. Never mind when you logged on your phone today and you saw.
No, I was really
the collection.
mad at this point in the game.
I know,
we were
but to
losing.
see it go through, to take advantage of your rival Noah, you know.
I wish my other plays were in this. I was driving the ball really well on this on this day. Oh.
No way.
I didn't realize why. Watch me do this, and I need to explain because I didn't until just now. I've seen this clip. No. That's what I thought I did, but I was like, I don't think I did that.
Defense.
Little Kareem.
I go, don't step. My fucking glasses fell off. I'm like, dude, stop. I was like, what? Listen, you can hear me go, don't step.
Oh. No win. Post defense. Oh.
Don't step.
Listen, you can see. I didn't even realize Noah hit me in the face. She's like,
No win. Post defense. Oh.
Everyone freezes. Look at me. Look at my hands. This pass went directly through my hands. I go. What the fuck? Oh man. That was a game winner.
Bobby Manning, the
Bobby,
dude
game
perfect
winner.
stereotypes. Guy misses every shot, makes the game winner. Is that him?
Bobby, how do you feel about the game winner?
Good roll.
Good roll.
Oh man, that was brutal. I played so much better in that video.
All right.
Yeah.
So we'll go back and forth. Biggest winners, biggest losers from this video. We'll do one apiece, and we can go as long as you want. I'll let you go first because you were there.
You want a winner and a loser for me, or just
Winner and a loser, and we'll alternate. So you do two, I'll do two, and we'll go.
Loser me.
Loser you.
Loser me. Winner J King.
Winner
Obviously.
J King.
Killing it. Yes.
J King got buckets, saw him throughout, making jumpers. You claim to have played better. Didn't see a lot of highlights in the clips. Very tough. Very tough. Okay.
I played better in the previous games. We were playing 3v3s before Bobby Manning got there, and I was playing well in those, but
Okay.
Well, the 3v3 teams were fucking John Corrales, J King, and Christian from PR. So we were fighting
Stacked
for our fucking
teams.
life. We were versus me, Noah, Bobby, and Justin. We kept losing, so we had to alternate one. But we were fighting for our fucking life in there. We almost won one, and that was my best game, and we just couldn't get the job done.
Biggest winner, Noah. Tons of screen time. All good highlights. Looks like a superstar. Got all the buckets. Biggest loser, Corrales. Corrales, massive loser in this, not because I have a tremendous amount of faith that Corrales can ball. Make no mistake.
He can. He's a hooper.
But the people in the YouTube comments, one, recognize Corrales probably more than anybody else in the video. And two, have had nothing good to say about Corrales playing in these games. Somebody, I'm going to pull up the video myself because I just want to read the comments.
Also,
some of these comments were hysterical.
Comment VAR, Bobby Manning, game winner, should have been called off. Travel.
Oh.
Let's take a look. We got a review here.
You can go to the review.
Was this a travel, Sam? Tell me. Ready?
All right.
Was this a travel? It's coming up right here. Yeah, that's a travel. He took another step.
Yeah.
Once you catch it, you can't step again, right? Right there.
Yeah. Yep. He traveled.
Yeah.
You're right. Somebody said, where are the Corrales highlights? He must be in the quote unquote used to play basketball camp.
Corrales and I.
Jay Cooking Corrales. John Corrales from Locked On Celtics got left at the perimeter.
Me and Corrales played better than the video shows.
I don't doubt it, but that's why he's the big loser of the video.
Yeah.
We should have John on and have him talk about this.
Fucked.
You think he would do it?
Probably.
I don't doubt he would come on the pod, but do you think you would want to talk about it?
I don't know. I guess we'll have to
have to defend his honor. We just
All
make
right.
a fake, not a fake video, but a staged video where he's just cooking me.
I think Jay and Noah definitely the biggest winners. Me and John definitely the biggest losers.
Bobby Manning, sneaky big winner.
I know. Yeah.
Just highlights of him cutting throughout the video. Terp, biggest loser.
Terp, loser as well.
Yeah.
Tough. All right. Let's go to the email, see what you have to say there. Reminder, as always, you guys can email us at hbtcpod@gmail.com if you'd like to get in contact with us. We have 5 emails to go over today. First up from Justin Chafins. Justin sent this to us a few minutes after we recorded our mailbag from Indy, so apologies, Justin, but we're here for you.
I felt so bad when I saw this come in because Justin specifically asked us in the chat.
I know.
But Justin, we did not forget you. We got you.
We are here. All right. Justin says, easiest route to the finals, ? Jack and Sam have heard through the grapevine this is the 4th easiest run through the Eastern Conference playoffs of all time. Some nerds figured it out, and nerds are super smart. The media sphere has picked this up, and now it's concerned the Celtics have not been challenged, therefore won't be ready for the finals. If this is correct, the Celtics won't be as ready as they should for the finals. What I'm hearing is that winning the finals will be more difficult. So I don't want to fucking hear about it when they win the finals. Whoever comes out out of the West, both good teams, it will, according to the argument, be the hardest finals of all time. And for all the ease by which the Celtics crushed their Easterly brethren, I want more praise and apology when they win it all. Love the pod. Keep up the good work. Go green, Justin. I agree with this. And my biggest thing is guys like Nick Wright and Kevin O'Connor, I think, have been on Twitter like parading the Celtics aren't good enough, not going to win. Like Nick Wright even picked the Mavs. But then if the Celtics beat the Mavs, it's going to be like, it was the easiest thing ever. But you picked the Mavs. So how is it the easiest thing ever if you pick the other team? What? Like that makes no sense.
O'Connor's a strange one to me because he's a Celtics blog guy. I'm just surprised. Like usually Celtics people that end up in the national media like plant the flag on the mountain or like defend the wall guys. Like Bill Simmons, people give Simmons a bunch of crap because he's biased and like he is biased, but I think that's what makes his show a fun listen and people love it when he's wrong. I really don't care what the national media has to say about the Celtics. They aren't watching all the games, and I've said it time and time again. I truly just don't care. But as far as the easiest route to the finals, again, don't care. I think the Pacers series was pretty impressive, regardless of whether or not you were impressed with the people that were on the floor for the Pacers. And the Celtics were in difficult spots, and they executed every single time. So I think that's something you need to put in your back pocket. Remember it. Take the value with you. Because it was an incredible watch. This is just stuff we didn't see from the Celtics all year.
Yeah, and they got the job done. That's what matters most. All right. Next email from Philip. Team Max, in quotes. Fellas, I heard an idea about untying eligibility for the Supermax Max for all NBA teams to prevent the convolution of the two. This had me thinking, why not simply let teams decide? The NBA can allow all teams to give any player currently under contract at the start of the season a Supermax extension. Call it the, quote, Team Max. They can offer to any player regardless of if they made an All-NBA team, got an MVP, played 65. This way, players can be paid what they are worth to their team, even if they failed to make an All-NBA team because of injury. The glut of equally deserving candidates or some weird media narrative. Bottom line is that if the team thinks you are super max material, let them give the super max. The current rules just step in between the player and team and serve only to potentially interfere with the forces of the free market. I can't think of any practical downside to this except a really bad GM giving out a super max, but GMs have been allowed to sign horrible contracts. Feel anyone? Forever. This upside is that teams and players with great relationships do not have to defer to the All-NBA voting by the eligibility to negotiate an extension. What do you guys think? All the best, Phil. I get it, but I just think that leaves almost too much freedom. Like a player could just be like, no, I'm not signing, or trade me because you didn't give me the max. When like, is that player deserving of a max? If it just gets kind of weird in terms of the balance, the checks and balances of player power, team power. This league salary as a whole in general, like teams could end up going way over. They could put them in a huge bind if they're forced to sign players to higher contracts. Because like if I don't know, let's say Desmond Bane is coming off a contract, but his team still doesn't want to sign him to Supermax because they've got two other Supermax players, but another team like the Spurs says, oh, we'll sign him to a Supermax. Like, but he's not a Supermax player, so you're only doing that to screw the team. I just think it's I don't hate the concept, but I think in theory it might be a little tough to hash out.
Yeah, I think you make a really good point, right? When I was first thinking about this, I was like, yeah, like first and foremost, I do agree. I think it sucks that some of these guys have their worth determined by media voting. But also at the same time, I think that's an important check to have because you mentioned it. Somebody that clearly is not worth it could push to make Supermax money, handicap a team in terms of salary cap, and then not have any kind of like defense for the team because, well, there's no measurement for what guys should make. So it's just kind of a catch-22. I mean, I think the way it is okay. There are definitely flaws with it, but I think it's better than these guys just being able to strong arm teams, be like, you have to pay the most amount of money possible, or I'm just not going to play for you. And it's just, I don't know. The contracts are just bad sometimes.
Yeah. Next thing, Philip again, Jason Duncan. If this is what I was talking about earlier, that's very funny. Fellas, looking west, I'm honestly not worried about the Sneezy Puppies or the Dallas duo, though I think the media would have me believe otherwise. In a beer-fueled, heated Celtics debate with my brother about how JT is treated in the media, we finally set it on Tim Duncan as the closest proximity to JT. Hear me out. This is crazy. They both have understated personalities. They both consistently arrive in the playoffs and both play both ways. Like Tim did in many years, this year JT is sacrificing a lot for the team, and also possibly like Duncan, JT is going to win rings with less than the best stats. Do you think people will eventually recognize that, like Duncan, JT being a team player is an elite skill too? Best, Philip. What a coincidence. That's an insane, like the fact that this was brought up after we just talked about it. I think that's a good comparison. I think the understated personalities are not recognized for their greatness until it's all over with. And even to this day, like no one sees Tim Duncan. Like he's often left out of the top 10 players of all time, even though he has that resume. So I think this is a good example.
Tim Duncan, by the way, rocks. I meant to bring this up earlier, but I didn't want to cut you off from making your point. Hilarious. Did you see the RJ?
I haven't watched
Richard
it, but
Jefferson?
I've seen clips.
Shout out to Richard Jefferson, man. That was an awesome production. Tim Duncan was excellent. The interview was fantastic. Just really enjoyed the humor in that. Shout out to RJ, man. RJ, by the way, who I saw at the LAX airport when I was there for work, but didn't say anything to him.
Richard Jefferson, by the way. Sorry, RJ. You're hitting RJ with the Sam.
Well, how do you like it? But seriously, I didn't want to go up to him, just happen to be wrong. Are you Richard Jefferson? No. Would have been terrible.
It was definitely Richard Jefferson. Though.
Well, he had a hat and sunglasses on for what it's worth. But it was definitely him. But he clearly did not want to be seen, so I was not going to be like, hey, I recognize you.
Fair enough. Speaking of RJ, from RJ, with love and respect, not saying I called the sweep, ... but I totally called the sweep. Evening, folks. What a fun series to watch. The Celtics did what champs do. Figure out a way to win. Missing a starter with two guys not hitting shots, opponents making insane shots, and the end of the game, the only question is, did you win? And that, my friends, the Celtics did. Congrats to everyone for competing in a 12-2 run to get back to the finals. Rest, recharge, get KP a bionic soleus, and get ready for whatever comes out of the West. Hey, the Mavs still need to mind their business. Be well. Let's win this thing. RJ, who is enjoying the lots of young fans' reactions. I think the funniest part of the whole Celtics run is everyone's complaining, like, of course they're winning. They're healthy. They're not healthy. They just have more talent than other teams to account for that. But they're not healthy. They're not even close to healthy. They're missing one of their stars. Yeah.
WRJ for predicting a sweep. W. Oliver Fox for doing a whole Celtics blog article and being like, they're going to sweep them. He actually, legacy on the line, did just like you did in the first round.
Respect.
Yeah.
What did I say in the first round?
The Knicks.
Oh, yeah. I got there. I got there eventually. Last email from RJ again. With love and respect, go ahead, celebrate. Even, guys, quick reminder from an old-timer to other old-timers. Let the fans celebrate the ECF sweep and grab the merch and wear it with pride. Yeah, I know the history and the idea that nothing matters with the banners, but for Celtics fans who came of age since the 2008 season, where every year has been a variation of close but no cigar, if the team has been that fortunate, let's not be dicks and harsh and enjoy the moment. That's all. A simple request. Be well. Enjoy another stretch of virtual August, and let's win this thing, RJ. I think you should be able to. I wrote this in the finals. Yeah, so there you go. Sam's got it. I wrote this in my big piece after Game 4. I think I called it the long road to the finals and the longer road ahead. And the sort of comparison I made was like, one, you should be able to enjoy everything. And it feels like fans haven't done that. They've just been met with relief instead of joy. And I think the good thing about the Celtics team is in 2022, it was sort of relief that they made the finals finally. Oh my God, yes, it's everything. And they're still happy about what they did this year, making the finals, but it's not relief, it's appreciation. And I think that's the distinct difference. They appreciate everything they've done. They can appreciate how dominant they've been. They can appreciate the accomplishment of getting to the finals, but there's still a very clear understanding now that wasn't there in 2022 of one more, we still got 4 more wins. Yep. Let's go. And I think that's good. And I think fans should be they should take a lesson from that.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I don't know if it's actually up as we're recording this, but it probably will be up by tomorrow. I put together a Celtics blog article, kind of talking about this and comparing this team to 2008 or whatever. I'm not going to talk about it. You guys, if you're interested, you can go find it. It'll be on the front page. But just kind of talking about what making the finals kind of means and thinking about different memories you have about other teams in the past that made the finals and kind of, I mean, Jack, in like 2015, we thought about like, how sick it would be to make like the second round. Never mind making the finals.
Exactly.
So we all probably take it for granted a little bit, but so many other franchises would be so thankful to have their teams continuously put on these prolonged playoff runs. It is nice to appreciate all of it.
You got to.
But you better fucking win at the same time.
You got to appreciate
I'm sick and tired.
in the moment. All right, let's go to the NBA. Let's talk a bit of Mavs-Wolves. It's been a while since we've gotten the chance to talk NBA because I've been in Indy and we haven't really had time to do a full pod.
Are the Mavs in trouble?
Mavs in trouble?
Yeah, Mavs in
Could
trouble.
be.
I mean,
No.
Jack, all these games have been close. Probably should have been down at least 2-1, if not 3-0. And then they go ahead and lose game 4. Minnesota has to be feeling pretty good heading back home for game 5. It just seems like, this absolutely could be a comeback, right?
No, absolutely not. I think losing Derek Lively, like unironically, does suck for the Mavs because he's been amazing this playoffs. It just feels like this Wolves team was designed to beat the Nuggets, and they did that. But it's not designed to beat the Mavs, and because they're not designed to beat this team. You can kind of see it onto the floor with two super talented guards. Like they just don't have the makeup because they've got two huge guys down low, and like they're running two centers at all times, who neither of which can really keep up with either of them on the perimeter. Rudy Gobert especially. So it's tough. I mean, credit to the Mavs, credit to Luka, credit to Kyrie for playing great throughout this playoffs, but it looks like they're 1 win away. They're 1 win away.
Kyrie 6 of 18 in game 4. I hope he went on the podium was like, you'll never see another 6 of 18 again, just like he did on the Celtics, and then shot even worse in the next game. But yeah, this has been a fun series to watch. I watched the game yesterday. Karl Towns is an absolute joy to watch, as much as SB Nation's whoever wrote that may disagree. He's a hilarious watch. Guy, I mean, you have to like sit back and like power rank, if you're a Wolves fan, just things you hate to see. What's worse, Jack? Seeing Rudy Gobert try and post up, or seeing Cat step back for 3?
Rudy Gobert posting up might be the most painful thing.
I texted a friend of mine last night during that Wolves game, and I said, seeing Rudy Gobert catch the ball in the post has to hit the exact same as when you see Tatum do that first between the legs dribble. Just knowing exactly what's coming, and there's nothing you can do about it. There's no hope. You just have to cross your fingers and hope it finds the bottom of the net.
Do you think Jason Tatum shoots better on those threes than Rudy does on post-ups? I'd say yes.
I fucking hope not, for Rudy's sake. 7'2", 7'3" guy, whatever the fuck he is, 5 feet from the basket. I hope he can fucking put the ball in the basket better than Tatum can, shooting these dumb step back threes. Are we talking for the season or just in the playoffs?
Both.
In the playoffs, it has to be Gobert. It just has to be, because Tatum's been dreadful from 3. But on the season, you might have more of a fair shot at getting Tatum over the hump on that one. That's a great question. I don't know. Is there a way to look at that?
I can probably look at Rudy Gobert post-ups versus Tatum pull-up threes. Should we look
Okay,
at that?
this is going to be a rough estimate.
It's absolutely. It has to be Rudy. It has to be Rudy.
I mean, the dude is.
There's no way.
He's right in front of the basket. He's got to be converting at least 47% of them.
I bet it's a lot better than we think. Post-up. Gobert in the playoffs on post-ups. We'll do first.
This is why you come to this show, by the way.
Yeah, 57% on post-ups in the playoffs. So but he's doing it 0.5 times a game. Regular season total. Let's see this. Gobert was he's much better. He was 64%.
I mean, Rudy Gobert is like, good as the percentages, right? That man looks lost when he catches the ball with his back to the basket. He's got nothing going on, and that's okay. That's just not what he does best.
No.
But it is a little bit funny that, I mean, we had a big Cat stretch in the fourth quarter of game 4 after Cat has been getting clowned all series. He is just a fascinating player to watch, though.
He's something.
I would hate if he was on the Celtics.
People wanted that for a while too. But yeah,
I'm
Mavs
very
look
sad
like-
that he's not going to be in the finals. I'd love to see the Celtics play against Cat. He would join the Marcus Hall of Fame for sure.
Looks like it's going to be Dallas though. Next thing, NBA thing, Jimmy Butler. Some rumors going around of where he could be headed, what could be happening with him in free agency. This is from the Miami Herald. Along with the Sixers, according to league sources, there are two other teams that have been known in the league circles that they want. They would be willing to trade for Jimmy Butler and sign him to a max contract. Despite the outside interest, Butler and his agent have made it clear publicly and privately that he wants to spend the rest of his career with the Heat, but choosing not to offer Butler the max extension this offseason could derail those plans. I don't think he's going anywhere. There's no way he leaves Miami. I stand on
I don't think
There's
he's
no
going
way.
anywhere either. But
He's
at
not
the
going to
same, this is not me saying I think he's going to leave. If you're any of these teams, why would you fucking give him a max extension? He doesn't play.
Yeah, but if you can get him, if you can get him in for the playoffs, and it's not like he's not played in the playoffs consistently, right? Like he's played in all the playoffs outside of this one. It's
Well,
like
he
it's
doesn't
not
play
like
in the
this
regular
is-
season.
Yeah, but if you're a team that doesn't need him for the regular season to play all the games, and you can just have him for the playoffs, like the Sixers, that's obviously an upgrade, right? Like if you can get 3 years of playoff Jimmy Butler or even close to it, like that's a clear upgrade and probably
Listen.
worth it.
Even playoff Jimmy couldn't get those motherfuckers past the second round.
It's
He
just-
tried. He tried.
Yeah, but now you got Tyrese Maxey, you got better Joel Embiid, like
That 19 Sixers team might be one of the great teams to like come up short in the playoffs. Like that was a great team. It was Embiid. They had Tobias Harris off his Clippers tenure, which was excellent. They had Jimmy Butler. They had Ben Simmons before Ben Simmons was broken. They had JJ Redick, and they had sufficient role players off the bench. Like they should have been a team that was knocking on the door of the finals. And listen, they lost to a brutal Kawhi shot, but that was a good team. That was legitimately a good team.
it was. They're a very good team. It just wasn't enough.
Okay. Mystery teams. Who do you think? Now, I don't know if you need to look into cap space for this or not. You may need to look into matching salaries that they could trade, but whichever team wants to make a move for Jimmy and give him this max level extension may not need to have the cap space. They just need to be like, hey, Jimmy, if we traded for you, we would pay you. So keep that in mind.
OKC doesn't make much sense. Clippers. If you lose
I
Paul
have an answer
George,
for you.
what is it?
I think the Chicago Bulls.
No.
You don't
Absolutely
think that
not.
would be a Chicago Bulls move, though?
Absolutely not.
Used to play there, could bring him back. Good for the marketing. Good for, hey, look, Jimmy's back, everybody. Playoff Jimmy. Playoff Jimmy.
No way.
I don't think it would make sense. I don't think it's like a fun, like, we put the trade machine together and be like, what if?
I also
got him?
don't think he'd go there. I think he'd say no.
Okay. Very fair. Very fair. Okay. Our Pistons. They have to do
No.
something.
Clippers, the Rockets.
He's from Texas, from the Houston area.
The
Phoenix seems like a
Rockets.
team that would be, please, we need something.
New Orleans?
New Orleans, maybe. There was a Jimmy to New Orleans thing earlier in the month, right? Like there was like, what if the Pelicans went and got him? Brandon Ingram
Memphis?
trade. Memphis would be an
Memphis.
interesting one.
Philly is the most obvious. New York? Knicks?
Do you think the Knicks do that? If you're the Knicks, do you do that?
I
I feel like the Knicks are in this weird spot that they didn't achieve probably what they wanted to when things got rolling, right? Like they had a great second half of the season. They probably internally had higher expectations than what actually happened. However, they also have this weird, we had guys hurt element to it that makes it difficult to want to make any moves.
No, you can't have that mentality. I think you have to push.
I think that mentality is a real thing.
But I think they should still understand that even if everything was healthy, other teams also weren't healthy. Like the Bucks team wasn't healthy. Like other teams around the league weren't healthy. The Cavs team got hurt. Like other teams got hurt. I think you can't have that mindset of nah. I think we're good. We just need health. Like, and I'm not saying it's the exact same thing. But look at the Hawks. The Hawks were like, nah. See, we're good. We just need another year of experience. No, if you needed to push forward after that conference finals year, and you didn't. You stayed stagnant. Like a lineup of Jalen Brunson, Dante DiVincenzo, Jimmy Butler, OG Anunoby, Isaiah Hartenstein. Pretty damn good, right? You trade Randall or whatever in a million picks, to be the matching salary.
That's essentially Philly upgrading the Tobias Harris spot with their cap space. Can't lose.
Exactly. Orlando, interesting.
Be a lot of fun if
But
he
I don't
wasn't
think
in
they'd
the
do
Eastern
it.
Conference anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. Dallas.
Sick and tired of playing this dude.
If Dallas loses,
I don't know.
if
Well,
Dallas
just have to wait
loses, I
and
think
see.
it makes sense. Yeah, I think that makes sense if Dallas loses. We'll see. Anyways, next thing. Speaking of a trade that didn't work, Gordon Hayward did not enjoy his time with the Thunder, and neither did his wife.
Or Sam Presti.
Sam Presti had a 2.5-hour press conference, and during it, he talked about Gordon Hayward and said, "quote hand up my bad," like you said.
He did not say hand up my
No,
bad.
he didn't.
That's a paraphrase.
You motherfucker. I know. I thought you put an actual fucking quote on the sheet. I'm reading.
If you read the sheet,
said,
it says he essentially did a hand up my bad. That's what it says.
I saw the quote and started reading from the quote. No, he said I missed on that one or something like that. Like that was close to the quote.
Pretty much.
And Hayward said, "Yeah, not good. Gonna move on now." And Hayward's wife Robin went on Instagram and said, he couldn't score because he didn't have the ball. Like, this was ridiculous. This guy is like blah blah blah. What a mess. What a random weird mess.
Is Gordon Hayward on a roster next year? Yes or no?
Yes.
Is Gordon Hayward on a playoff roster next year?
Yes.
Okay. Where do you think are the best spots for him?
Clippers.
Everywhere is the Clippers. Jack's. Let's see. What do we have next? We literally have Clippers next. But it's just every answer. Clippers. It's hitting the blue button.
What was the last other Clippers answer I gave?
Jack, where do you think the other mystery teams are? Clippers.
Yeah. Gordon Hayward.
It's okay. They're building the wall there. They're going to have the new arena.
You want to know why? They love taking overpaid Hornets players and making them good again. Round 2. Run it back. Nick Batum. Run it back.
Plumlee.
Run it back. Hayward. Run it back.
I think Hayward still got stuff to give. I think it was unfortunate for OKC. Maybe I don't know. That OKC team was not a team where you can come in with a whole lot of margin for error. That's a good team. Like, it's tough to come in mid-season.
The Thunder fucked up by not doing more at the deadline. That's an L. You can't waste that season. That's so stupid. So dumb. They facilitated.
Flipping through in my head.
They facilitated the PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford trades.
They sure did.
L. Bad. Next thing, Cavs. Donovan Mitchell is Jesus Christ in Cleveland, apparently.
He's got the LeBron treatment.
This is from Brian Windhorst. I skipped over something, but we'll get to that too. Donovan Mitchell's role within the Cavs organization ranks among the most powerful for any superstar in the league. Quote, what Donovan has with the Cavs is what LeBron has with the Lakers. In fact, it might be even stronger. Interesting. That's quite the position.
Anytime I see a report like this, I'm like, that's fucking ridiculous. Get it together. But at the same time, I do get this. It's very rare for Cleveland to have a player as talented as Donovan Mitchell walking through. Aside from LeBron, they haven't had very much success. So, when you have one of these guys, you do have to keep them happy. But with all of the things that we're hearing from Cleveland in the, 2 weeks since the Celtics knocked them out, it's a fucking shit show. They fired the coach. Probably shouldn't have fired him. I don't think they really had any grounds to fire JB Bickerstaff. His fate was predetermined if he was fired. Because they go in the playoffs, they punt a opportunity to be on the opposite side of the bracket as the Celtics. They then win the first round series. They lose to the Celtics. With Donovan Mitchell being hurt. What do you want out of JB Bickerstaff if you're Cleveland ownership? I think that is one of the most ultimate shaftings we've seen of a head coach. So if what Wendy's saying is true, Donovan Mitchell probably didn't like JB Bickerstaff. We also have the Darius Garland wrinkle in this where it's one of those guys is going to be traded. They will not be playing together again. Kind of weird. Then there's the weird Jared Allen angle to this where they're reportedly shopping him, but he didn't know about it. Just bizarre stuff going on in Cleveland. Cleveland, a team that is pretty talented, had a ton of injuries this year, played better when certain guys were injured. So I guess if you're looking to move on, you go on from there. But what the fuck?
I don't know. It feels like I always struggle to believe everything that's put out there about teams are true because so many times in the past parts have been false and it's just been like glorified bullshit from like certain angles or like it's almost anything you see from Shams and Woj that are like these stories are almost always half truths. Like they're told by one side of the equation. Like the organization is telling a story of this, or Darius Garland's people are telling a story of that, or Jared Allen's people are telling the story of another thing. Like it's never the full exact example of what's going on. I make sense that the Cavs want to keep Donovan Mitchell happy. Like you said, the stars just don't go through there. And from what we saw in the playoffs, that motherfucker is capable of winning at a high, very, very high level. Like everything he does in the playoffs is conducive to winning if you put the right team around him. And I don't know if you should focus on keeping him over everybody else, but I think if you're building a team and you want to win, he's not a bad place to start. So I get it from some degree, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Next thing, Ty Lue is Clipper for life, sticking around, hanging out with a massive extension. Yeah, massive extension with the Clippers. 5-year contract worth nearly $70 million. One of the most highest paid head coach in the league. Another tidbit: they're aiming to keep Harden and George this summer. Shocker. But I think Harden already extended. No, didn't Harden extend? Or am I crazy? Or Kawhi extended? Sorry, no, Kawhi extended.
Kawhi extended, yeah.
I mean, this makes sense. Ty Lue's probably top 5 head coach in the NBA. Like, duh, you want to keep him around? No shit.
Yeah, there was, I don't know, there were like these weird rumblings that he might be done there. It might have been like a him thing, though.
Where? Really?
Speaking of coaches in LA, Redick. I don't have much to say about Ty Lue. Good for him. Redick. Apparently, JJ Redick is already assembling a Lakers coaching staff. Chris Haynes, friend of the program, on the Dan Patrick Show, said, "I'll be surprised if the Lakers' next head coach is anybody but JJ Redick. He's doing some background, calling some assistant coaching candidates. Now, as I was scrolling through Twitter, I stumbled upon this. This is from Dan Wojcicki, covers the Lakers for LA Times. Rumors of the Lakers' staffing plans have run throughout the league during the past 2 weeks, with some names most commonly mentioned, including former head coach Scott Brooks and assistants Sam Cassell and Jared Dudley. Ex-Lakers guard Rajon Rondo has also been under consideration."
For the head
Could
coaching
be a lot
job
of
or for
those
the
guys on the
assistant
bench for the
coaching?
Lakers.
For the assistant
Could be
coaches, you mean?
assistant. Yes.
You think Sam Cassell would leave Boston
No.
to be an assistant in LA? No.
Not unless he really hates it here.
I don't think he does.
Because
But-
he's probably going to take Charles Lee's position as the top assistant here if he stays.
You'd assume, probably.
Because
Yeah.
they said they wanted to promote from within. So it would make no sense for him to leave now.
Yeah, good for JJ Redick, man. As much as I know you dislike the Lakers, I hope JJ Redick does well. I mean, I enjoy his work.
I like JJ. Fuck the Lakers. I hope they're a dumpster fire. And I, again, think it's a very, very bad situation he's going to go try and coach in.
We'll
That's
see.
just what I think.
We'll see. All right, Ratless time, Sam. What you got?
So, Rat List, on Saturday, the lady and I went on a morning date in Newport on the East Bay in Rhode Island. So if you look at the map of Rhode Island, there's the big body of water in the middle, and then there's 2 sides. So we were on the east side. I live on the west side, so it's an excursion to go over there. They have these abandoned railroad tracks that they have pedal bikes on, and that was our date. We went in the morning. There was like a little picnic section. So you rode for like 3 miles along the tracks. You stop, have your picnic. It's right by the water. Fantastic views. And then you get back on, ride back, you go home. So anyways, you ride there. When you get off, they have to turn the bikes around. And then when everyone's done eating, they call each party by whoever booked it, their last name. And you get on and go. So these people are like all standing by the platform waiting. Not that it makes a difference where you stand, because they're just going to call your name when they're ready for you. You don't have to stand right there. Anyways, They finally called my group, and my girlfriend booked it. And her last name may phonetically sound like a particular NBA team that I hate. And they said, "Oh, this lady just turns around and says to me, of all people, oh, not this year, team name," because they had lost in the playoffs. Do you know how offensive that is to me? To suggest that I would like that? To think that I would support such a... I had my Kevin Garnett retirement hat on. What the fuck do you take me for, lady? I'm not a fucking uncultured heathen. I understand. I know ball. You know who you're fucking dealing with. That might be the most offended I've ever been. Worse than when I was at the coffee shop and the guy asked me if I was on school vacation.
That's a tough one. Yeah, it's tough luck.
She's just like one of those people that clearly like doesn't pay that much attention, but she wanted you to know that she's been following what's going on. So she made a statement.
Connect with you, man. She wanted to make small talk.
Nothing worse than small work. You want to talk about ratless? Small talk is the worst thing on the planet.
I consistently tried not to sit in the front seat of our Ubers in Indy so I wouldn't have to talk. I held every door in Indy for everybody just so I wouldn't have to walk in first. Yeah. Well, what do you mean?
Nothing worse than people that hold the doors open. Unless it was like for your group.
Yeah, what the fuck do you think? I'm not holding it for random fucking people. There's like 6 of us. I'm holding it for my friends.
Well, that's what I mean. The people that hold doors for randoms are psychopaths. No, there's like this weird not. Like how far away are they? Like do I have to do a little run?
No, what? No. There's like 4 of us. I'm holding the door for the others. What the fuck? Ratless, the car ride. Really fun. Car ride back, far too long. Car ride back was so long. We left super early on the way there, so we got in at like midnight and I was like, all right, this isn't too bad. It's like around and around. Didn't get back till 4 last night. Horrible. Very tired. I was so unbelievably tired. But it was good vibes. Like the whole trip to Indy, even the car rides like were fun. It was just I got back way later than I wanted to. And the car Wi-Fi was horrendous, but Indy was fun, man. City sucks.
Best thing about it.
Indy sucks. Indy itself, not a fan. Best thing about the trip?
Yes.
Ball.
Besides basketball.
Did
you do anything else?
Yeah, we went to St. Elmo's, the steakhouse that everyone talks about in Indy. It was pretty good. It was me, Bobby Kravitsky, Bobby Manning, Noah, Justin, and Kari. That was fun. Everything was good. I met one of the guys I talked to for the story on Jermaine Buckner, who was there.
Oh, that's great.
Buck. So I got to meet him. He was cool. Shout out Dan Monteroso. He's a good guy. We talked for a little bit. That was cool. I told you this, and I said on the stream, my uncle went to high school with Donnie Wahlberg, so I said hello to him there. Introduced myself, and he showed me a picture of my uncle in high school. That was funny.
Wait, Donnie Wahlberg showed you the picture?
Yeah.
See, when you told me that story, I didn't make that connection.
Yes. Yeah. Donnie Wahlberg pulled up a picture of my uncle in high school on his phone.
So what I thought happened was your uncle said his friend happened to be in Indianapolis. No. And then his friend showed you the picture of all of them that also happened to have Donnie Wahlberg in the picture.
No. Donnie Wahlberg pulled up a photo on his phone of my uncle.
I see. Okay.
Very funny. But he's a nice guy. Shout out Donnie Wahlberg. He was cool. I told Noah the story. And I go, do you know Donnie Wahlberg? She goes, no. I'm like, do you know Mark Wahlberg? She goes, oh, the burger guy. I'm like, wow, this is
so you know the incredible. Burger guy. That's the one. Does she even eat meat?
No. No, it's just a fun trip, man. Just hanging out with everybody. It was super cool. Highlight of the trip. This place called Pas de Choux. We went twice. Croissant French toast. Very good. Fucking awesome. I know you're not a French toast guy, but that shit was good.
Did you go to the race?
No, it was like rainy. It got delayed. It was
Yeah, they were saying Mickey Mouse Indy 500. They only did 200.
Yeah, it was lame. But the French toast place we went to is apparently one of Brad Stevens' go-tos. So it's good reviews. It's a good place.
If you get a chance to talk to Brad, which I'm not sure you will, and it might be out of context by then, she asked him if it was special to be there for a conference championship when in Indianapolis. Because
I guess, yeah.
Obvious.
Sure.
Rat list. So it's like right now it's an anti-rat list. Later it will be a rat list. But Buffalo Wild Wings. So Buffalo Wild Wings. And as soon as I'm done doing this, I'm going to go to Buffalo Wild Wings. It's Wednesday. So Buffalo Wild Wings has all you can eat wings. Pray for them. I'm going to see what's the line, Jack.
23.5.
Okay.
Too low? I feel like it's good. Too low?
If it was me, I would set the line at 30.5.
Really? Okay. Sure. Were you asking me for a line for what I would eat or what you would eat?
Me.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay, yeah. Okay, 30.5. Sure.
Lady said 48. No chance. Not a fucking chance.
Ratless, the Wi-Fi at our Airbnb didn't work. Horrible. Couldn't even connect. Kept cutting out up way too late. That was dog shit. And Ratless, the Wendy's we went to last night for just taking forever. Noah has tried to order a salad with no chicken or whatever because she's vegan. They just go, we're out of salads. She goes, oh, can I just get fries and a fruit cup? They go, a what? She goes, fries. They go, yeah, but what after that? She goes, the fruit cup. She goes, we don't got fruit here. They just said, nah. So they were fucking useless too. And Noah turns to me, she goes, it says fruit on the board. I'm like, yeah, but it's midnight and I don't think anybody ever fucking orders the fruit cup. Indy was sick though. Indy was a good time. All the road trips are fun. It was a good time.
I don't think I have any more Rattlers.
I don't have anything else. We tried to invite a lot of other people to ball, but no one else came.
Damn, it's fucked.
It was I asked Gary and he kind of laughed at me. We asked a bunch of other people. Suichi didn't want to go. Kari
Dude, it
was
would be
there,
so fun to have Gary.
Kari hurt his calf. Kari hurt his calf on a run earlier. He's like, yeah, I heard it pop. I'm like, oh shit. He ended up playing a little bit. He didn't play in the big runs. But it was a good time.
Cavs are just at risk. Cam, Kristaps, Kari,
Donovan Mitchell,
Giannis.
Well, I'm saying the Cavs, literal Cavs.
Oh.
Everyone. Anyways, we can wrap it there. I'm gonna eat something quick before I go to softball. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe to Abbott and Celtics. We got content coming at you every single day in the playoffs. We're on YouTube. Just past 2,500 subs, so appreciate y'all for that. And all Sam, take it out.
Thank you very much for listening and watching. Like Jack said, 2,500 subs. Join them. Hit the subscription. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our daily uploads. 5 a.m. every morning. There's something new for you. Whether it's these pods, Tuesday, Thursday, Sundays, game recaps the morning after each game, or other videos in between, which you will be getting plenty of ahead of the finals because there's a billion days between then and now. You can also find our streams on the channel. Talking Seas Monday, Wednesday, Friday mornings, typically. Celtics Roundtable, 6 p.m. on Tuesdays. And pregame, half hour before every single game. Ton of fun. Come hang out there. You can find us on Spotify and Apple. Our pods and game recaps are there. So if you follow us, those will go right into your feed. And then you can leave us a 5-star review. We would appreciate that very, very much. You saw it on the pod today. Email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. We'll read them. We love when you guys reach out to us. You guys are a big part of the show, so we want to make your voice heard. You can also find us on socials. How About Them C's is Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. The Facebook's the name of the podcast. Our streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Spurs at Jack's NBA. Mine is at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us.